Hello, I would like to add my support to all of the protesters out there who are fighting the hard fight and doing the heavy lifting to change the way that the police work in this country. It is a problem, and it's been a problem. The citizens' right to life should be just as respected as the cops' right to life. We should all be able to leave the situation alive. Any policy that has an unacceptable mortality risk should not be a tactic or policy that police are allowed to use or trained to use. That seems to be something that a chokehold should never be used on a citizen. Our rights to life should be respected as much as the cops. They should be trained to try to avoid violence with the citizens. There's a lot of problems with the way that the cops work. They should not be we should not put more money into police to deal with the homelessness instead of fixing the homelessness. Because what can the cops do for the homeless? Same thing with those who are mentally ill. The cops should always have a trained person available to work with those who are mentally ill. Always. They should not be, that shouldn't be their purview. What tools do cops have? Arresting you, putting you in jail, putting you in handcuffs, shooting you, being violent. How can that fix homelessness or mental health? How is that useful at all? We should fix the problems instead of try to police them out of our sight and criminalize them. Same thing with the drug war. The drug war has been nothing but bad for the planet, nothing but bad for the countries around us. Look at poor Mexico. All we've done is make their criminals so rich that they are in charge of the government. I don't believe that we should do mass incarceration in this country. The goal should not be to fill the prisons. The goal should be to not fill the prisons, to have less crime, not more arrests, not more prisoners. We're crazy in this country, and it's a problem. You're destroying generations of lives for ridiculous reasons, and all it does is make the private prison owners rich and ruins lives, destroys lives, instead of having rehab and drug treatment facilities. I mean, if you wanted to get off opiates today, good luck finding a place that can help you. Good luck, I promise you. And even if they're going to try to help you, they don't do it the right way. Not here. Not at all. They make it very difficult. I mean, try to get into any drug rehab. It's not as easy as you think it is. And it's not cheap. And if you're poor or homeless, how are you going to afford that? We need to reduce crime. The drugs are a symptom and a cause, but the main cause is poverty and the fact that we don't make living wages in this country. At least not more than half of us. Poverty, homelessness, mass incarceration. That should not be what America stands for. And yes, I'm white. And yes, I still care. And no, I don't think this is just an issue of black and white. This is an issue of wrong and right. Anytime there's a policy that allows them to treat anyone in a wrong manner, obviously the most vulnerable and disadvantaged, the poor, who many of our brown brothers and sisters are poor, as well as some of us, as well as whites. And if you're mental health, or if you're another color, or if you're a discriminated color, say you're Muslim or something, I mean, for many reasons the cops discriminate and definitely use harsher tactics on those of us who are the most vulnerable and don't have the most money to fight them. It is for all of us to make sure that the cops do not treat us as if our lives are worth less than theirs. for any reason, even if you're a damn criminal. Your life is not worth less than anyone else's. Cops should not be trained like they're going to war. The militarization of the cops is a super big problem. The unions cause a lot of these bad policies and a lot of these rules where it's not transparent, and they fight any kind of transparency. The unions for the cops are much more powerful than I ever realized. It's all about the local. It's all made at the local level. These policies need to be changed. And any smart politician will go against any kind of corruption and mistreatment of the public. These cops have a wonderful duty and provide a wonderful service when they are professional and are given rules that are professional. Have policies that are humane. Most cops are wonderful cops, and they are willing to put their lives on the line to protect the rest of the community. And that's a wonderful thing, that you as a cop has volunteered and knows that risk. But just because you pull me over, I shouldn't have to feel that risk that you're going to shoot me because you're trigger happy and you're afraid everyone's going to shoot you before you even say hello. There is definitely a power differential, and power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. There has to be a balance. And again, this isn't just about black and white. It's about wrong and right. And the truth is, whenever there's a bad policy, it hurts the most disadvantaged the most. Those who can't fight in court, those who aren't considered, And then the court system and the justice system, again, mass incarceration is wrong. That should not be our goal. That is not a metric we should ever be proud of in this country. That we have so much crime when we fill our jails. When it's just not true. We have rules that if we don't fill a jail, we have to pay a fine to a private company, millions of dollars, because they're missing out on profit that they could be making if we filled the jail. We have dumb private jails. There should not be private jails. That is not a system that should be for profit, ever. It should be for rehabilitation, for entering society again, not to make them worse criminals who have just been tortured for years and put in a madhouse. No, that is wrong. That is wrong. And I just cry for anybody out there who feels afraid of the police anytime they meet them. I'm afraid to call the police. I'm always afraid the police are going to shoot someone. I'm not rich. I'm piss poor, not rich. And I fear the cops. I fear calling the cops every time I ask them for help. They're not busy trying to get the perp. They're busy trying to get this arrest they can, trying to arrest the victim. And the laziness and the corruption can't continue. It can't be this good old boy thing anymore. We have to wake up. We can't have the cops militarized and treating the citizens as if they're at war with us. Things must change. Thank you to all of the protesters who are making their voices heard and helping to push this issue in the forefront. Thank you. Thank you so much.